We are us, and we are here. And if you are here, that means you're part of us. Let's get it. As we get in, as we get into it. Come on and get into it. Ah, greetings, salutations. Welcome to Conversation with TNathan. It is 10 o'clock Central Standard Time, 11 o'clock Eastern Time. And this is Conversations with TNathan. And it's simulcast on WGCPR Network. And we're here on TikTok and the other. And we're getting ready to start the show as soon as people get in. What's up? What's up? Yeah, we're going to talk about several things today. We're going to talk about finger pointing and flooding in Texas. We're going to talk about the Department of Justice's new stance on the Epstein files and whatever else comes out. What's up, Gracie? Where you at? Jay, you at home? Jay is at home. The nephew's at home. He's been working all day. He'll probably fall asleep on us. Gracie, where you at? Yeah. So while we get everybody streaming in and still on a mountain in Lyons, Oregon. Good, good. What's up? Are there any lions in Lyons, Oregon? I bet is there mountains? I think there are mountain lions in your area. I think there are mountain lions. There's some mountains in Oregon, and I know they free range on the West Coast. Called Unc. He will be calling me back later. Yeah, I called him also. He was on the phone with the family. What's up, Rain? What's up, Greasy? Greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome to Conversation with T. Nathan. You've tuned in. You know if it's 10 o'clock Central Standard Time, 11 o'clock Eastern Time, and you see my handsome mug on your TikTok or my soft and sensuous voice on your radio, you know what time it is. It's that time. Conversations with T. Nathan. And you all see the headline, what we're going to start with, because I have questions. I have questions and I want some answers. So, as the death toll in Texas has reached 104 individuals who have died in connection with the flooding that has taken place there. Um, Also, there are at least 20 children missing still from the camp that we know of. And I'm sure there are more people missing that just haven't had the chance to report. And we're probably going to discover this death toll will rise even more than that. Uh, I think this death toll will top out about 140. That's just me. But look at you here on time. I know it was an accident. It was an accident. I was like, Lauren Hill took the stage at 2:30, and I was like, I can beat Lauren Hill. But also, this time it wasn't Lauren Hill's fault. And we're going to talk about the Essence Festival and Target. And I'm going to debunk a lot of things people are saying, and I wonder why they were saying it. But y'all got to wait for that. Back to this Texas situation. So, you all know that this year, through this administration, through Doge, cut 600 employees from the National Weather Association, National Weather Service, and the NOAA. And those are the divisions responsible for meteorology and weather reports and warnings across the country. Uh, a lot of these people that were cut were also part of the division that oversaw Texas. Having said that, and I see people, I had to cut somebody off earlier because they were like, "Why are you all talking about this? There are people missing, and we should be, we should be sending thoughts and prayers for those people missing." I said, "What does this got to do with me talking of? I'm not down on the rescue crew. There's nothing I'm saying that's stopping people from being rescued in Texas." See, sometimes when people say stupid shit like that to me, I be like, how long have you been stupid? I say I can't say that, on other people's TikToks because they get bent out of shape. But I've been wanting to ask people, how long have you been stupid? These people are not even in the rescue. They're it's like, you think me talking about accountability at a time when a natural disaster is happening because the natural disaster couldn't be stopped, but we could have had systems in place to better deal with it. Somehow, I am distracting from the thoughts and prayers that need to be going out. Yeah, I'm not in Texas. Yeah, I'm surprised Ted Cruz is still in Texas. Usually he gets on a airplane and goes to Cancun, but I digress. So tap the screen, power tap. Yeah. So then we get to the point where even the president of this country dodged the responsibility because you all know he was supposed to be shutting down FEMA at the end of this hurricane season. you know, it is spectacular to watch the the level of complacency in maggots. Is like he was talking about shutting down FEMA. As a matter of fact, his budget cut $685 million from FEMA's budget, and he was talking about setting it down. And then when they asked him about it, he said, "Well, they're busy doing work now." You think FEMA is busy doing work? Yeah. And people don't realize when they say we could leave this up to the states, that emergency responses, sure, that'll work for states like California, Texas, New York, perhaps. They work for large states. Yeah. Rhode Island, not so much without federal assistance. Yeah, small population states who not so much without federal assistance. That is the role of the federal government to be able to balance out responses in certain situations across 50 states. That is literally that is literally the definition of our government's programs, right? And to hear people talk about this like, oh, it won't matter. Yeah, it'll matter. Tell people in New Orleans after Katrina. And I asked a question I haven't got an answer to, even though I know the answer because I've been like looking at the development in North Carolina after Hurricane Helena, after the federal government under this administration, FEMA denied their request for reimbursement for expenses. And I'm waiting for people in those areas to respond to my video and tell me how the recovery is going. How is that recovery going that FEMA denied your request? How is those recoveries going in Arkansas after flooding? But you know what? He signed the declaration. I'm talking about Donald Trump, signed that declaration of emergency for Texas within hours. He's not in Texas. Ted is in Europe. So he signed that declaration within hours for Texas. But how do you all reconcile the fact that also add to this equation people talking about, oh, this happened at night, and we already know that the because of the cutback in staffing, that the 24-hour system of monitoring doesn't take place because there's nobody there all 24 hours. But this is the thing about Texas that is complicit in its own natural disaster folly because they refuse to find money in their budget to make sure this camp that we're talking about, Camp Mystic, that they had access to early warning systems. They said, no, they voted no. And these people are the same people that were literally sending their children to this camp. And they said no, because if you know cell phone service, if those of us who awfully travel off the grid a lot, you know that in certain areas your cell phone service is reduced. And therefore, also, I don't answer voicemails. If you want me, side note, if you want me to see a message, you need to text me because then when I come back in cell phone area, the text is waiting for me. I don't listen to voicemail. I just I set it up because it came with the phone. And then when it gets full, I delete all of them. I rarely listen to voicemail. Rarely. I don't care. Everybody knows me, knows if you want to say send a message to TNathan, send a message because he's usually doing something off the grid. If I had time to listen to a damn voicemail, I would answer the phone. Yeah, I don't listen to voicemails. So now that we've established that for all of those who might want to leave a voicemail, you don't tell me what it said. You could just text me, and it's voice to text, so you can't even talk about, especially when you're somebody who sends long texts all the time. Mm, dun dun dun. If y'all feel like I'm talking to somebody specific, you might be right. All right, but back to the thing. It's like Texas is complicit in its own handling. And then to watch people blame the National Weather Service and NOAA because of its failure to implement even what NONA was saying, all the National Weather Service has sent out alerts, is without blaming the Trump administration. It's watching Chip Roy, the representative from Texas, watching Chip Roy try to straddle that fence is hilarious. And I said hilarious. Yeah. Remember, I'm not on the ground trying to rescue anybody right now. I've been there, done that, and me talking about it is not going to preclude anybody from doing what they do. Not too much on my client. Who's your client in this situation? Chip Roy? Chip Roy, your client? You represent a Republican legislature from Texas. Wasn't me because I don't have your phone number. Ooh, what's up, Robert? What's up? So we get to that situation, and like I say, but add to that, I meant to add to that, that the Pentagon under this administration has decided to restrict access to meteorologists of microwave satellite imagery. And this is the imagery they use to track storms in heavy, dense cloud situations and at night. Because one of the things that's going on in Texas is people talking about this happened at night and the warning system wasn't in place. But at the end of July, the Pentagon has announced they're going to restrict, by restrict, I mean terminate, access to their thermal imagery microwave satellite data from the National Weather Association, a service. I want to call it the NWA so bad, but it's not. It's NWS. Yeah, NWA just be like, wow. If you know, you know. But and then to get to that point, and everybody's like, okay, it's okay. And then we wonder, how do we got here? So yeah, they want to restrict it even more. The Pentagon is going to deny access to the National Weather Service of their microwave satellite imagery that is used to track storms at night. Yes, they are. They're going to restrict that. That was said. I put a video out about it, but that's what they announced at the end of July. They're going to restrict that, and their reasoning is their reasoning is saying they're trying to prevent cyber attacks. You all process that. You process that. You're going to restrict access to your microwave satellite data that is used to track storms because you're trying to prevent and maintain cybersecurity. Remember, Fox has a weather channel now. It started under Trump's first administration. And it doesn't matter because all weather channels go through the NWS. All weather channels get their data from NWS. NWS is the National Weather Association. It falls under the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Organization, and these are federal programs, you know, and they're cutting their funding. So the data that Fox gets will Rupert Murdoch does not finance a weather does not finance a National Weather Service. And the only way you can actually track and keep up with storms that move across countries is by making sure that you have outposts within that country to measure storms and everything. Like they talk about this storm, no one understood that this storm was going to drop this much water. Yes, it did. Yes, meteorologists. They understood this was going to be a heavy storm, and they tried to contact people and let them know that hey, you need to sign some warning, and that's what people were talking about. But the National Weather Association is not responsible for the alerts you get on your phone. those are local responsibilities, right? You all, you know, if you have a service, you get on your phone and it lets you know tornado warnings have been issued. And we're going to get to tornadoes because, you know, Rain and I was chatting back and forth today because she texts me. She doesn't leave voicemails. She texts me. Rain and Rain were talking about. And I live in Kansas. And one thing you know about Kansas is Dorothy took a ride from here to Oz on a tornado, right? Yeah, it's one of the most famous things about Kansas. Dorothy lived here. So I didn't text you today. I'm talking about when we were talking about the tornadoes. And you and I told you that, yeah, yeah, you're right. I told you I call all that text. All that is text to me. When you told me when we talked, mentioned tornado, I said, yeah, we might not be the one to talk because we live right next door to each other, and I live in, it's called Tornado Alley. For those who don't know, it's called Tornado Alley. The Midwest is literally Tornado Alley. But you're now telling us that the technology that the government had through the Department of Defense, because people don't realize the Department of Defense maintains a lot of satellite coverage over this state, over this country. A lot. A lot of the satellite coverage over this country is because of the Department of Defense. And instead of put up their own satellites for decades, the National Weather Association, or NOAA, has depended on using data from the Department of Defense satellites. It makes sense, right? We're in the same government. Why not? You can't share this information. It's not like we're asking you to share your nuclear tracking information with us. This is infrared um, microwave data that shows the movement of cloud formations. Yeah, we're not asking for the data that you're tracking some illuminated truck with radiation across the country building a dirty bomb. They're not asking for that. I live in Kansas. I lived in Kansas many years ago. Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. So you get that. People texting me. Amazon. Yeah, because tomorrow is Prime Day. But when you're broke, it doesn't really matter when a Prime Day is. Um, Speaking of broke, school supplies. People. Reese, you need to call me back because, like I say, yeah, we need school supplies. Reese, um, and we've never moved past the next stage of that while we're talking about other things. And if you all would like to help, this is the Cash App for school supplies and helping those who happen to be homeless. That's what we do here. Um, and or do I need to tell you all we're buying a bus? Yeah, I'm not letting that go anytime soon. Do I need to tell you all we're buying a bus for mental health and physical? And yeah, we're going to throw physical therapy in there. Mental health, physical therapy, and medical needs in the community. Will that help? Yeah, I get it. I understand. Shit happens. Life happens. Um, but I just want to put a fire under you because we need supplies. School is going to be starting back, and plus students that need supplies in the immigrant community that we are trying to help, they need supplies also. So yes, we are. If you would like to make a donation, you know who I am. You know what I do because I put it on my page. When long as I don't have to show faces. We put it on the page so you'll see where your money is going. Yes, but we do need donations. Yeah, especially that with the new big beautiful bill, some of the funding to some of the programs that we are dependent on are going to be cut. I don't even know how many employees we're going to have next year. I don't. I know we're going to without taking some salary cuts. And so I had just come inside from taking my dog out. What's up, Amy? Mm, 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So yeah, do I need? Maybe I should do a marathon. I should just get on here and just stay a marathon and see if we can raise any money to help kids or those who have to be homeless. Because we talk about it, but I don't know. I'm still waiting. I was talking to somebody today, and they were talking about how much I'm not even in the creator fund. That's another thing. I'm not in the creator funds because my videos don't fit. I put putting all in my. If you watch my videos, I will put now that we can put pictures in there. I take pictures and show you all why they are restricting my videos. Take a look at them sometime. They're comical. Sometimes I'll be making videos and I'll be trying to guess what they're going to say for restricting my videos from the For You page. Yeah, so I'm not in the creative fund. I'm not a part of an agency either. People talking about agencies and all that. No, because I'm not going to sell. I feel like the first time an agent tells me something about my content, I'm going to cuss them out. Yeah, I get contacted all the time by these agencies. We like your content. I say, you can't like my content. You haven't seen my content. You can see the number of supporters I theoretically have and just tell me we can help you with your lives. No, you can't. Because the first time your robots come in here or your people and they say something stupid, they're going to get cussed out. And then to feel like I'm obligated to speak on some issue because I am I find it hard to even do unless I know the person. I find it hard to do sponsorships. There are people be telling me, well, do a sponsorship. Have you seen most of the stuff? Yeah, no. I ordered some stuff for Bella, and she was gonna play with it, and I was gonna say, hey, we could this be easy. Bella looked at that ball and was like, I was like, and Bella was like, and I was like, and Bella was like, I'm going to lay down, and I was like, I'm going to put it back in the box and send it back to him. Then she wasn't playing with it. So integrity still means something to some people. What's up, Galactic Princess? Checking the price on it. If it fits, they still have that. All right, then you should have said that. I should have said what? I should have. I should. I should have. I should have took their money and told them that this Bella doesn't want to play with it. You can borrow my dog. He will play with it. Let me tell you, Bella will not. Bella will not. Yep. She won't play with anything and she just won't eat anything either. Yeah. If I do a review on something, I'm brutally honest. I don't care. And that's my problem. And plus, if I do a review on something, it has to be something I know I already like. I only like when I did the reviews for Black Sands comics. I'm a comic nerd, so I can do that. People People should contact me about the books I've read. I would give them a review on those. It'd be easy. I've read all of them. A new book, yeah, y'all gotta wait, and you still gotta send me the book. And then if I don't like the book, you gotta be ready for me to say I don't like the book. How old are my students? The youngest one is 13, and the oldest one is 16. 13, and that's a, and we're about to get some more. The bishop just sprung it on me last week that we have some more families that students need tutoring. And I'll be like, yeah, sure. I'm not broke enough already. And the church does do some, but not enough. But they give me the building to use, so I'm figuring that's great. And then the ladies will bring snacks by, cause they feel motherly, and they do. The ladies will bring snacks by and all that, cause and it's fun. It's fun because some people feel like they got to do their part, and their part is making sure we stay fed. And black women, they're gonna make sure those grandmothers be bringing the food by. And when I did the cultural meal, I have to say that was a lot of work for them because they took over. They just said, how long I purchased the stuff. They took over and did the meal, and it was great. I was so happy. And when I started looking at what I had got myself into, and that's why I say I know the ancestors are really there for me because, I got myself into it because I said, y'all know, if you know me, when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. So if I had to cook it all myself, I was going to do it. But man, told one grandmother. Next thing I know, they were like all showed up in the kitchen, and they were like, "Go get ready for class. We got it." I was like, "Yes, yeah." So it was great because I can put together a care pack because y'all like shopping for things on sale. That would be great because you have made French fry sandwiches. Yes, somebody got to eat the French fry sandwich. Yeah, I would have made French fry sandwiches and called it a day if I thought that would work. I'm good at that. But yeah, So if you would like to be a part of this, yeah, help out. I'm not raising money for a bus. I'm not raising money for a bus. I could say that if that will make people, give. Um, but I told you I probably need to get some of my sisters on here and show some breasts or something because I don't know. Obviously, I'm not good enough. What are you most in need of? Everything. Pencils, notebooks, backpacks, everything. These are immigrant students, and whatever I raise that is over what I need, I'll be donating to the school system for underprivileged kids in our area. I almost said I live in Johnson County. I live in Kansas and Johnson County, and everything I raise in some way, shape, or form is going to those who are going. If I raise enough to do, I never raise enough to even provide the meal for those who have been homeless. And in the winter, we also have to provide shelter temporary during storms for women with children. Yeah, we do that. Couple of $100 in hotel costs. Yes, my credit card is non-existent because every time I get it paid down a little bit, something else happens. And then we wind up like right now, still got stuff on my credit card from the winter when we had the snowstorm and people needed places to stay with children. Because it's one thing to provide tents and canned heat to people when it's just cold, but when you have a woman who is hmm, pregnant with a child, yeah, we just have to swallow the bullet and put them up in a motel. If you have a PO box, we can ship directly. I don't have a PO box. I have an address. I'll just have to give people I trust my address because if anybody show up, I don't. Spending money on the PO box takes away from the money I could be spending on those who have to be homeless. So I'll just have to text you all if you all want to commit, and I know you all, and you're not weird. I will give you my address, and you can ship to me directly. I mean, that helps, but it also would just help if you all sent the money to the Cash App, then I can go out and get the things I need without have to go through all that. But anyway, I'm not turning down any assistance, period. Just it just makes more sense that, we could do it that way. Uh, yeah, thank you, Rain. I would rather what's up? What's up? Raven is in here. I love Raven. Greetings and salutations. My beautiful friend. Y'all say hello to Raven. Yeah, because Raven has been one of those people that they have been with me. We have videos where we have the Raven would come down with my with our husband. Raven's married to our husband, and they would come down and help me. They would literally bring stuff, food. We would go out. So it's not like you all don't know. You can go to more than just me. When Raven drove me to Santa Fe, when we decided to go feed the homeless out there, we would come to your area and feed homeless. But the thing about it is, most people want us to show up, but they don't want to do anything but have us show up. And I don't show up for other people's photo ops. If we're not, I and maybe that's a problem. Maybe maybe I need to start showing up for photo ops if it means people are going to really help. I just never have gotten into that. It's the reason I can't be in the creative fund. It's the reason that there are people that tell me if you do this, I'll send you money to do this with. No, I'm not sending no dick pics. Yes, people have contacted me and told me they would send me money to help me feed those who have me homeless or things I do if I sent them dick pics. Yep. Yeah. We absolutely go anywhere. I can drive. I can. Raven's superpower is driving. My superpower is sitting in the passenger seat and talking the entire way. That's my superpower. My superpower is navigation without navigating. Because that's another reason I like traveling with Raven. They don't ask me to turn on no GPS or anything. Everything is taken care of. I sit there. I usually am on my phone solving some people's problem while I'm trying to play a game or listening to a documentary video. What's up, dresses and swords? Navigation and music. Raven got the music down too, because we have similar taste. We have similar taste. But what I figure this way, whoever's driving the vehicle, whatever they want to listen to, especially on long drives, is all right with me. I know. See, this came on both phones, so I know it's Reese. No, it's Reese. Okay. Wow, that's too much. That's. Oh, you want tea drinking in here? Okay, once I pack this, right, it would be packed full of notebooks. I'm not sure. 100 pounds, Reese? Yeah, that's 160 some dollars to ship 100 pounds from where you are. We're gonna have to we're gonna have to talk about this because I gotta find Gracie. Gracie's a truck driver. Gracie be on the road. Maybe Gracie can come through there, pick it up, and bring it some of the distance to us. Yeah, I travel as much as I can, normally alone. So I got this pre-made, right. My Monday was great. It's the same Monday. My weeks are the same. Usually, if you get me in the day, I am um like last week, of course, the holiday that y'all celebrated. That I rested for my ancestors because they were enslaved in 1776. But yeah, I got some stuff done. But no, class doesn't stop. Helping those who are in need doesn't stop. So it's what we do. It's what we do. I'll rest when I'm beyond the veil. I tell the people all the time. They don't understand. So you gonna get some rest? Yeah, my body will shut down when it gets ready. But other than that, I'll rest beyond the veil. Nope, not the same for you, Siren. Don't try to use my words in your situation. You're pregnant. I can't have a child. I don't carry children, and I don't have. Yeah, I'm not having. Um, I'm not having. What is it called, Reese? Um, Problematic pregnancy. Uh, nope. I already said. Nope. I already said I'll rest when it's time. It's not now. It is time. Complications in pregnancy. It's time to rest. Yes, when black women are 4 times more likely to die in childbirth because of the system we live under, it's time to rest. I told you, it's time to rest. Don't come in here trying to use my words. I don't have the ability to carry a child to term, and if I did, the human race would not have better not depend on me to do it. Now, there are situations, and this is a situation. You are literally been told to rest by somebody with an actual medical degree. So you need, and it's so hard because you need to find that balance. You have to find that balance between your stubbornness and your health. Yeah. Do we need to go watch a movie or something? Do I need to go put a movie in to get you a rest? Because I will end this live. We will go. I will put a movie on, and you could rest. I just have to find a movie that you could rest watching. Let me think. Let me think. So that leaves out clowns in the covert. What is it called? Clowns in the field or something? No, okay, Rain. I'll let you. No, we're not watching Harlem Nights. I've watched Harlem Nights so many times I could quote it. No, we're gonna watch. I do have new movies though. I do have new movies. I have lots of new movies. Yeah, I said I was gonna start my favorite movie. Yeah, yeah. That it's no. We're trying to get her relaxed, not throwing something up in the air like sunshine. I fell asleep watching The Mortician last time. Yeah, but you had already seen it. I'll watch the back of my eyelids for a few hours. Sun up new jobs. Yeah, yep. One of the ones who doesn't text me until after they do something and then be like, oh, by the way. Hmm. What's up, lady? What's up, Lord Gaga? Yeah, I know who you are now. Yeah. Unpin that message, Reese. We're not watching teeth. I'm gonna tell you. You all start a campaign. I told y'all what y'all do if y'all want to watch Teeth. If you want to watch Teeth, y'all start a campaign, and and if you reach the goal, we'll watch Teeth. That sounds fair. I know not what you speak of, the lies. Yeah. Yeah, start a campaign. We watch Teeth. If y'all want to watch it, if you're committed to watching Teeth that bad with the group, I'm Team Teeth. Jay, shut up. Mm. Jay, nope. Nope. $100 is not gonna do it. If I gotta sit through that, I need at least 7 times that much. Yeah, yeah. 7 times that much. Yep. We gotta have if y'all raise enough to cover the expenses for a whole meal for those who have to be homeless for a month. Yes, I will do it. I will suffer through. I will even do commentary on it. Yeah, you forgot a zero. Yeah, that's good. You forgot a zero. I blame Reese for why I watched that movie. Yeah, I blame you. Yeah, yeah. I don't see how you read the. I don't see how you read the description of that movie and then decided to watch it. Listen, I didn't even. I heard their description of it before, and I went and read the description, and I literally blocked it from my bootleg movie theater. All right. So while you all contemplate those questions, I asked you about um, about Texas. Let's have a little fun. You all remember when I told you there was no list? There was no Epstein list, a little black book of Epstein, because if they would have had it, it would have been leaked. And I told you all the thing you all were calling a list was just a list that the FBI had put together of people that he knew. And that's nothing more than like going through your telephone and putting together a list of all the people you knew and that he interacted with. Well, yeah, this is hilarious to me because conspiracy theories are so easy to debunk, but I let people run with this because it's funny watching people run with the Epstein idea. Like, hmm, y'all still haven't learned your lesson. But I thought it was extremely funny that when Elon Musk started throwing Epstein's name around, because he started doing it again since he said he's going to form a third party, when he started throwing Epstein's name around, it's amazing that DOJ came out and said there is no list and the case is closed. It is hilarious. And I told you all that it wouldn't matter if there was a list. I don't understand why people don't listen to me. It's not going to get Donald Trump impeached if there was a list and he's on it. No, none of that's real. None of that's real. But do you remember when Pam Bondi in February said the following? Oh, let's listen to Pam Bondi and what she said in February about the Epstein list.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So have you seen anything that you said, oh my gosh?
Not yet.
Okay.
Listen, listen, listen. To go from that, and you remember they called they called all those right wing influencers to the White House and gave them this whole packet of information, notebook binders full. Imagine how many students we could have given those binders to that actually did some good. But I digress. Here's Cash App. But they actually called these right wing influencers to the White House and gave them all this old material that they said was new material, and more was supposed to be coming. And then when they questioned Pam Bondi on it, she said, "Oh, I'll get with the agents and find out what they did with it." Right? Y'all remember all that? Ooh, listen, let me tell you why I like stuff like this, right? Because some of y'all are so deep down a rabbit hole that is just a made up rabbit hole. You don't understand the beauty in this. The beauty in this is I have people like Laura Loomer right now going after Pam Bondi. I have people I'm watching, and what is my philosophy? When you see your enemies fighting, you grab you some popcorn and stay out the way. As a matter of fact, you throw gasoline in the middle of them, and just to hope. A lot of people running around here saying, "Oh, Jeffrey Epstein's dead. You can't even sue him. He dead. His estate is not paying any of these people who are saying anything. You all are waiting on the same." And it was the same people that was talking about what freak offs were when I told them. I said they can't be what you all say they are. But we had to go to trial and find out they weren't what it said. And now those same people are quiet. That's because we have just as many people who believe in conspiracy theories on the left than you do on the right. At the end of the day, if it doesn't stand up to the fact test with me, and I or it doesn't stand up to the it matters in the long run test with me, I have said that this president has proven that if you all the things you all try to tie him to, listen, this man was found guilty of sag assaulting a woman in a dressing room of a high end department store, and he still became president. What more do you all need? Do y'all think someone's going to be impeaching him because of anything his Justice Department's? You can't trust his Justice Department. But by the same token, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter. It's not like he doesn't have 34 actual felony convictions for hiding payments to a corn star. What's funny is they all keep saying, okay, why Gazelle's in jail then? Right. I say that all the time, Amy. I say that all the time. And if you are wondering why Scrooge is calling me while I'm on the radio, this is why. Greetings and salutations, brother. How are you doing? But I got to answer his call. I'm doing all right. You're Nope, I don't want to hear that. If I don't want to hear that, I don't want to hear you're sorry because if I didn't want to answer the phone, I would have answered it. No, you are. No, I thought you were about to say you were sorry about calling me during the radio show. No, no, I'm not criticizing you, Scrooge. I'm not criticizing you. Stop it. I'm not criticizing you. How you doing? Nope, I just said we're not doing that. I'm not. If you don't owe me an apology, because if I didn't want to talk to you, I wouldn't answer the phone. How are you doing? Whatever you need to do, brother. Whatever you need to do. This is whatever you need to do. Like I said, you don't have to hold back. Right.
He didn't. We got to grieve on this man right here. He was an integral part of the family. Y'all just can't just go over and just act like it didn't happen.
Right.
I mean, I got criminals in my business. So they always be
Allegedly. 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 Yeah. We on the.
So sisters do these because we gotta go to the means of this tomorrow. I mean,
So need you to think about your health. How's what the doctor say about your concussion? Did the doctor give what did they give you? They gave you some medication to take?
they gave me
Yeah. Yeah, those are powerful. Um, this is what I want you to do, right? Until you can't do anything right now. Okay? So I want you to prioritize getting some rest. You understand? Listen to me. Listen to me. You want to do the best. You want to do right by him, right?
yes.
Well, I need you to be clear-headed in the morning, and I need you to be rested. Okay? I need you to be
Yeah.
clear-headed and rested. So that means I need you to get some rest. There's nothing you
This
can
is
do
the
right
man.
now for him. Okay? Yeah. Yes.
So to say to make sure that our family has the rights to be gifted. Hey, come
I need you to rest right now.
on, sister, like that.
And that's understand. And this is what I want you to do. I want you to listen to me, okay? I want you to rest for a couple hours. And then we can if you need me to walk you through it tomorrow, I'll walk you through it tomorrow. But right now, I need you to rest so you can be on the top of your game. It's like I say, you just got out the hospital yourself. And I don't need you don't need to be back in there before this is over, okay? So that's what I need you. I know it's hard, but I need you to. You've taken your medication.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Reese says she wants you to know we love you, and of course, we put everything on hold for you, but we need you to rest, okay? And what time you gonna get up in the what time you want to get up in the morning?
How thank you.
Okay. Well, when you wake up, when you wake up, I'm gonna check on you. I'm gonna text you back, and if you need to talk some more, we'll talk more. But right now, I want you to try to close your eyes and rest for a little while. And if you need me, if I need to take off tomorrow and just walk you through this process all day, we can do that. Okay? Uh, Go ahead. I'm here. You just need. It's all right. You're not alone. Okay? You understand? You're not. You don't have to do this alone. So, but yeah, I know you can't deal with it right now. So let me deal with it. Okay? Let me help you deal with it. All right? So I need you to listen. I want you to go rest. I'll check on you in a couple of hours. And like I say, if you need me to take off tomorrow to walk you through this or just to talk to you as you go through it, I'm here.
Okay.
All right. Put your phone on charge. Put your phone on charge because we don't need a lot of energy power. I'll check on you. I'll check on you every couple of hours because I know you're not going to go to sleep, but I want you to rest. Okay.
Okay.
I'll text you every couple of hours, and if you need to talk, just let me know. Okay.
All right.
No, Jay, he doesn't need you to call him. He needs to rest. He doesn't need anybody to call him. He just needs to rest. I love you. I got you. We are us. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
I'll check on you in a couple of hours. If I see him in somebody's panel, I'm going to report his speech. Yeah, no, just call me. I'll show up in somebody's. You be on somebody's panel. I better put a warning out. Yeah, if I see him in somebody's panel, I'm coming in there and I'm going in your panels. Play with me. I will. Can y'all hear me? Testing, testing, testing. No sound. It's interesting. Sound went out. What about now? Testing, testing, testing. Testing. Why? It's interesting. Now we have sound, but sound never went out on the other page on the U of the Tubi, but sound went out on TikTok. Interesting. Yeah, that's our brother. He just lost his brother today while he was in the hospital. Um, he was in the hospital. He's getting treated for a concussion. When he gets out, he finds out he's lost his brother, and so we'll be checking on him. We'll be checking on him through the night and whatever he needs. Whatever he needs, we'll be there. But that's what we do. Yeah, it's right because what we need is just sometimes just support somebody to tell us what we need to hear and not what we want to hear. So, yeah, and as as all of us who have lost loved ones, people will tell you things that they think you want to hear, but at the end of the day, it never goes away. It never goes away. We just learn to cope with the pain of loss. It's just the reality. So when people tell, "Oh, it'll be better later," no, it's not better later. It's not better later. We just learn that we live with it. That we live with it. So, yeah, it doesn't matter. And then somehow happens and it reminds you all over again. It's like people like time heals all wounds. Sometimes time is the wound. Sometimes time is the wound. But we do learn to move through it. And then some days are better than others. All right. I'm going to I know it's early. We're gonna cut out 5 minutes early. We're gonna get out of here and I'm going to prepare to see what he needs to be done. What he needs to be done. If he needs to talk all night, then we'll be talking all night. But you all have a good one. I'll catch you all up on everything as far as politics, geopolitics, and everything else. We'll come back to it tomorrow. But for right now, first I'm going to end you